Whatever that thing is in your life that you would like to accomplish, that you've been saying for years, I can't do it, you can do it. You can do anything that you set your mind to. And that's part of what self-optimization is. It's just simply the process of becoming a better you, of maximizing your potential. He wanted my food, and I didn't want any ducks around to give anybody swimmers it, so I grabbed a handful of sand and I kind of threw it at him. Now, I wasn't trying to hurt the duck, and I didn't throw it hard. I just wanted to kind of shoo him away. Well, there was a little boy. I don't know how old he was, but he was young, and he saw me do this. And he says, "Cool." And he takes off, grabs 2 fistfuls of sand, and he's running as fast as he can like a bat out of hell. And his mother sees him do this. And his mother yells after him, "Johnny, don't you throw that sand at that duck." And she takes off after him, not nearly as fast, mind you, but she takes off after him. And she goes by me. Men, you'll appreciate this. She runs by me, and she gives me the look. And you all know the look. It's that look that women have that just puts the fear of God in the heart of any man. She gave me, I thought, oh my, what did I do? That duck eventually got to the water, and his demeanor changed instantly. Amazing how that happened. As soon as it was in the water, it was totally at peace. Held its head high, no more fear. That duck knew that there was not a single person on that beach that could touch him. I mean, that young boy could run all he wanted, but that duck was perfectly safe as long as he was in his element. In order to empower our minds, we have to be far more specific. Break the 4-minute mile. That's a pretty specific goal. A fuzzy future has no pull power. When we start to define our future, and the more clear that picture gets in our minds, the more it's able to draw us. It becomes like a magnet, drawing us towards it. And the more specific we can be, the more pull power that is going to have in our lives. We have to have a clear vision. When I took a year off of school after grade 12 because I wanted to make some money before going to college. And I worked in a sawmill. I was working graveyard shift. I had a vehicle, but I liked taking my motorcycle to work. So I was driving my bike to work one night. It was dark because it was graveyard shift, and I didn't realize the road had been washed out. So I'm coming down the dirt road into the sawmill. It's downhill. I'm doing about 90 because I'm a little bit late, 90 clicks on this motorcycle. And all of a sudden, I see in front of me, not too far in front of me, the road is washed out, and I can see the culvert, the metal culvert down. It was that deep. And I just panicked. That just overwhelming sense of fear. So I did all that I could do. I cranked the throttle, tried to get as much power as I could, and I just yanked on the front tire to try to get it over. I was going to try to jump this thing, like any young guy would try to do. But I was going way too fast, and there was just no power there. My front tire went down into that hole, and I flew over the top of my bike. Thankfully, I was wearing steel-toed boots, and I had a metal backpack on my back. So I managed to roll onto my back, put my feet up, arch my back up off the ground, and I just slid for, I don't know how far I slid. But as I was looking up, I saw my bike spinning like this over top of me, the headlights just spinning. And it crashed on the ground and went flying and totally totaled the bike. I went into work, explained what had happened and why I was late after pushing my bike the rest of the way to the mill. And I went underneath one of the conveyor belts where I was having to do some cleanup. And I just started shaking uncontrollably. I don't know if I went into shock or what the deal was. But I learned something riding motorcycles. I learned that you hit what you focus on. You hit what you focus on. And so you never want to focus on the obstacle. If you're riding down a trail and you're a little bit out of control, you're going too fast, and you see a tree, if you look at that tree, you hit the tree. You never focus on your and yet we do that in life all the time, don't we? We focus on the negative. We focus on the obstacles. We focus on the circumstances that might be looming before us that are going to, we think, destroy us. But we need to focus on our preferred future. Where is it that we want to go? Once you know where you are and where you want to go, it's just a matter of figuring out how you're going to get there. We need to have a plan. A strategy is just simply a way to get what you want. You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough, and you have a way to get it. So in grade 7, our grade 7 class is asked to do a project. And I decided to do a volcano. And I built this beautiful volcano out of paper mache. And I thought, well, what am I going to do to make this thing erupt? And they told me, you mix vinegar and baking soda, right? And you'll get an eruption. Well, I did that, and it didn't look very good. It was I've had runny noses that were a little bit more powerful than this. I put a little color in. That didn't do the trick either. So then I thought, oh, I got an idea. Over a number of weeks, I took as many shotgun shells out of my dad's backpack as I could without thinking that I would get caught. Now, he never suspected, I don't think, at least he never said anything. And I had half a bottle full of gunpowder. So when it came time for the presentation, I carried my volcano up to the front of the class. And I put it in front of the class. And I dropped a match into the volcano. And it didn't take long before this thing started to smoke. Sparks started to shoot out. Flames shot out. The flames were shooting as high as the ceiling and kind of bouncing off the ceiling. Smoke was billowing up and across the ceiling, and it finally started to billow outside of the door. Within just 30 seconds or so, the fire alarm went off. You could hear people in the hallway. What is going on? I looked back at the back of the class, and my teacher was sitting there. And he just had these big eyes, and his face just drained of color. And you could just see him. If you lived in the texting days, it was just, OMG, what have I done? So all the kids in the class were standing on their feet. They were clapping and yelling, yeah! We all get evacuated out of the school. Fire trucks show up, the whole deal. And I'm just, basking in the glow of my creativity. It was an awesome moment for a grade 7 student. Totally awesome. That was the best volcano in the history of the grade 7 volcanoes. At least I think so. And you're not going to burst my bubble because it was awesome. Really awesome. But why was it so successful? Because I had a strategy. I would have looked pretty foolish standing up there with no way of making anything happen. Just this paper. Vinegar and baking soda would have been better than nothing. I want you to hear me say something today. You have that kind of explosive potential. Everybody does. All you need is a spark to light it. All you need is a strategy. You have within you qualities, talents, abilities. You have the ability to do things that you never dreamed, you never imagined possible. You have the ability to put your stamp on your family like you never imagined possible, to put your stamp on your community, on your workplace, on your world, just to do things that you never dreamed possible. But all we need to accomplish those things is a strategy that is clear, that will give us direction and purpose in our lives. We all need a strategy. I know this young woman that is just a remarkable young woman. She told me a story about her life, and she went through a really tough time that was filled with fear and struggle. And she said she just got tired of living this way. And so she decided to give her year a theme. Now, this was more than a New Year's resolution. She actually gave her year a theme, and she did this for several years successfully. One year she called the Year of No Fear. When I heard this story, I thought, wow, that's remarkable. I got out a pen and paper, I started writing, can I please use this for one of my talks? I thought it was remarkably, she wouldn't have called it a strategy, but it's exactly what she did. A year of no fear. And one of the things that she did, one of the things she strategized is she decided, I'm going to meet 50 people this year that I don't know. That was really tough for her. Just walk up to them in Starbucks, introduce herself, start talking. 50 people. She thought it was going to destroy her. She got partway through the year and realized she had done it. And it made a huge change in her lives simply because she established a strategy.